and welcome. Today we are going to be doing another tutorial. I was asked if I could do something to maybe help about creating homes that are realistic, and I think one of the things that helps make homes look a bit more realistic is whether or not the roofing fits the house. And is of course done correctly. Even if you do have the roofs on but they don't meet up right, or maybe use the wrong kind of roof and they connect not incorrectly, they can kind of make or break a house depending on your roof. I was going to do a series where we built a house in lifetime or whatever you want to call it. But I wasn't really liking it, at least not for what we were doing, for what I was doing here. I was trying to get too many things in one build, and I wasn't like where it was going, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this route. So this is the second time I've tried doing this. I'm not really 100% certain how I am going to do this, but we are going to use this. I am hoping I can get a few different kinds or types of roofs going on in this house. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to do this section here, and I just now noticed that I didn't cover I didn't put a roof there, so we're just going to go ahead and do that really quick here. There we go. We're going to go ahead and put a roof on right here, and the roof that we are going to decide or going to use here, not really 100% certain what I'm going to do here exactly, to be honest. We could put one of these on and have it go in and have it go here, but I'm not really too sure until I put it on what a wraparound porch type of roof is going to look like. And the reason why I'm choosing to do a wraparound porch is because of the type of roofing you're going to do for this roof. To get this to look correct, like you would see in other wraparound house porches, you're going to use a combination of probably 3 different kinds of roofs. 3 kinds of roofs, you ask? Well, why can't you just take the hip roof and just take it all the way down? Well, yeah, that works. We could do something like this and shrink it down and whatnot and put it wherever we wanted, but it can sometimes get in the way of what we're doing, and that is going through much farther than I wanted it to. I don't want that. We'll put this on again. I'm not really too sure how this is going to look for sure yet with this type of roof, so we might change this later. But to get the wraparound porch to actually look correct, architecturally correct, I guess I should say, we're going to use 3 different roofs. We're going to use the hipped roof here. We are also going to use a half gable, and we're going to use a half hipped roof. And before we actually get started, I want to put, I guess, like a disclaimer on this video and probably other videos when it comes to creating homes that are to help you with a house that is more architecturally correct. I am not an architect. I did not go to school for architecture. I don't have a degree or anything in it. But I do have it's hard to explain. I would almost have to explain it in like a question and answer or some kind of tag video or something. It's kind of a little bit, a lot to say. But anyway, we're going to go ahead, and first one we're going to put in is we're going to go ahead and grab the hipped roof. And the reason why we're going to grab this one is because it gives us a nice corner. And we're going to start right here in the corner. Make sure I have my grid on all of the places. I have a tendency not to have the grid on, so I'm going to try to remember to keep that on so you can see where all the grid is. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but the squares are there. I like to put in the pillars and have them in place. It usually helps me find the grid. I kind of base it on. So this corner here where your column would be, so we're going to start the hipped roof. And we're going to take it down. And we're going to keep going until probably about right here. That looks a little weird, I know. But when you lower it down, this is why I don't think this roof over here is going to work. Yeah, that roof isn't going to work. We're just going to go ahead and make it a room, just to make it easier on us. Whoops. This shouldn't take too long. Oh my goodness. Hate it when it does that. So, we're just going to throw some paint on here to make it look the way it's supposed to. I guess I should have maybe tested a few things out. See, I wasn't too sure. I told you at the beginning, I wasn't too sure if that roof was going to work. And I don't really want to mess around with it too much. So, we're just going to go ahead and get these put in really quick here. Take that one out. Put this in. And get a roof on. Okay. There we go. We'll probably just use the other style of roof up a little higher. So, I did that because, like I said, to get this to look right, sometimes, with games, especially this one, the roofing sometimes isn't exactly correct. You're going to keep going with this until you have the corner going into the corner here. Okay, that is something that is actually very important when creating roofs in a house and have it architecturally correct. Is the corner here does meet with the corner here. And then for this to work properly, of course, we're going to need, should be okay having just one, I would think. One square wide here. Okay, so there's that one. Now we're going to use a half-hipped roof. And you're probably wondering, well, why are we going to use that? Because when you go in like this, and sure, that's fine, and it meets up here good, and it looks good, except right here. You're not going to have this overhang on an actual real house. It's not going to hang like this. At least not to the point where it's going in so far over here into the house. And that is why, whoa, wrong one. That is why we are going to use the half-hipped roof. And you're going to go approximately 3 squares from the edge. Because I don't think 2 squares will do it. No, actually, it'd probably be okay. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. I think you need to be at least 3. I'm pretty sure. At least 3 squares. So here's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to take it, and you're going to take it all the way back. Kind of hard to see what I am doing. Okay. Like that. There we go. Because we want at least a square width up here. As you can see, we had the same slant. It goes up in the same spot. This can all be adjusted later. All we want to do right now is get the roofing in place. And the gap is no longer, or not really a gap, but we no longer have the roof sticking out over the house. Then you're going to take a half gable roof. And you're going to take this one. You're not going to go into this corner. You're going to go to this corner here. One corner in, or I should say one square in, one line, and you're going to take it up. Normally you would want it to go a little bit farther. I guess it'll be okay. It actually went in pretty good. Sometimes it makes weird looking lines and stuff, and that's not too pretty, but this time it actually went in pretty good. Now, over here, we are going to do let's see, your half-hipped roof should also be just fine to go over here as well, because what we're looking for is a straight line here. We don't want this corner. Well, if we didn't have a deck, the corner would be okay, but you don't have to. Houses have either a nice corner over here, like what we did here, or sometimes they are straight going up and down, like you see over here on this side here. So you can have either or, But since we have a deck here, I just think in this case it'll look better, aesthetically pleasing, to do what we did over there. And it's going to be the same thing. Here's your edge. You're going to go 3 over. So there's square 1, 2, and then the third square. Or you could base it on lines. We have lines 1, 2, 3, and then this would be the 4th line. But for me, it's just easier to look at squares. So square 1, square 2, square 3. You're going to go in the corner, and you're going to drag, and you're going to make sure you go back far enough into the house that this top piece here hits the house. You see how it hit? Okay, that's what you're looking for. And then you're going to do the same thing you did over here with the half gable. Okay, we're going to come in 1 in from the outside, and we're going to bring it over. Okay, which normally would be okay, but you know, I broke my golden rule. See why I said you need at least 1 square? I wasn't paying attention. I don't have 1 square there, do I? Oops. No big deal. Just come in, get your hipped roof, and do it again. But this time, see why you need 2? Because right there's only 1, or not even a full square, and it's got the gap. So you go over 1. I'm just going to come back 1. This time I took it into the house 1 more, which now created our 1 square. I didn't see that or was paying attention actually when I first did it. So you want the 1 square here, 1 square here. And that is how these, when you go to put this one in, will connect evenly at the top when you put in your half gable. And then you're going to have, of course, a straight here. So this is how you'll do the a wraparound porch. Now normally you're not going to see it raised this high. This is pretty high. So I'm actually going to bring it down. Not all the way. Okay. About maybe, let's see, we were here. We're going to go ahead and bring it down about there. It's usually somewhere around halfway on the wall. Or a little bit lower. Because a lot of times on a roof like this, there's also going to be windows there. I think we're going to go down just a little bit more. And then you just lower each of these until they start to match up again up here at the house. Which is sometimes kind of difficult. Like with me, for instance, if it's just slightly off, this drives me absolutely bonkers. I hate it. Sometimes it doesn't line up. That's probably going to be about as good as I'm going to get it. Sometimes I just have to say heck with it and just deal with the fact that it is slightly off. And unfortunately that causes glitching, and I hate the glitching. This is why I said I am so picky. Because stupid little things like this drive me crazy in this game. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lower it also over here. You want all the roofs on this portion to be the same height. So you're going to bring them down. And again, it's going to do about the same thing as it did to me over there. But a lot of times I can ignore it. It does kind of irritate me. But there really isn't a lot you can do. I mean, either the roof is going to match up or it doesn't. It's not like in Sims 4 where we can actually move it, like move objects. In fact, I just figured that out in Sims 4 that you could do that. Yeah, I've been building this whole entire time and I didn't even know that. Okay, so that is a wraparound porch. If anybody was wondering on how to do that. Now, I am planning on doing what is called a mansard roof, and that is where it is flat on top. You could use, let me see if I can find it. You could use it here. It is a mansard or I don't know how to say that exactly. But unless your house is really big, see, as you can see, it didn't even form. Unless it's super big like this, you're not going to get this flat roof. And you can't raise or lower this, which is very, very aggravating. I hate the fact that you can't raise and lower it. So, if you make your own, you can do that. And to make your own is very simple. This is not difficult to do. Now that you know how to use these pieces here, you can create this very easily. You're going to want to have your grid line on. It makes it much easier to see what it is you're doing. And you want at least one square on each side. You can bring it, depends on how much that you want flat. You're going to box in. Whatever you box in, whoops, is what's going to be the flat part. So there's that. But I want mine a little bit bigger. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, it depends on how much you want flat. You can pretty much make these however you want. So I'm going to go, actually, why don't we do our turret roof first? I know this is one of the ones that can be very difficult to get right. Using an octagonal roof is not the easiest, but I'm going to show you a little trick. And it is a trick I use all of the time when I create one of these. Whenever you have a turret, and just real quickly here, when you create one, even if it's only a half, like one front side, or you do a larger one like I did here, you're going to follow these rules when creating. If you only do one square diagonal, you need to do 2 squares this way. Okay, you see how I have 1 square diagonal, but 2 squares going straight. The reason for that is because when you go from corner to corner, that's actually longer than going from corner to corner this way. So when you put this in, you're going to also go this way, 2 of them. You can make these bigger, but I don't, my opinion is you start getting too big, they start to look a little unrealistic, something you're probably not really going to see in a house. This is a pretty good size. If you go and you make it 1, 1, and 1, your octagonal roof is not going to fit properly. It is going to give you fits, it's going to give attitude, it's not going to play nice. So, my rule of thumb is 1 and then 2. 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, 1 and 2, depending on where it is that you're doing it, whether or not you're making it a tower even higher or you're only doing a partial. So now we're going to go ahead, run through that with you really quick here. Now we're going to go ahead and do the octagonal roof. You can start on either side, either the right or the left. It doesn't matter. You're going to go 1 square in and you're going to choose this corner, or you're going to choose this corner. We will do both corners just so you can see it, and I'm going to go a little, try to get on top of it so you can see how the roof will move and position itself in. You're going to grab, you're going to drag from one corner to the next. You're going to go back 1. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's on, it looks like it's the right spot, but it's actually not. Go back 2, and you see how it shifted? It moved backwards. See that? Okay, it is slightly bigger, but it shifted backwards. Okay, now if we take a look at it, here it is. Make it taller. We got ourselves a roof. Okay. I'll go ahead and show it again. This time I'll go from the right. You grab it, you pull to this from corner to corner. So corner to corner, and then go back 1 and 2. That makes it shift backwards a little bit. That way it's going to overhang a little bit. I mean, this is after all an octagonal roof, and this is a game. They will overhang a little bit, and probably a little bit more than what in real life they would. But to get them in this game to go on properly, that is pretty much what you're going to do. There are other ways, like to make it smaller. You can go in from here to here, but then it doesn't really cover very good. That's if you're doing one of the really small ones where you go one, one, and one, and it kind of, I mean, like I said, it doesn't work the greatest when they're that small. But you just basically, what I always do when I make them is I grab from corner, I go to corner, and I go back 2 squares. And then whenever you're doing one of these kinds of roofs, they are going to point up. So make sure you come in here and drag them up. Okay, let's go ahead now. Let's work at our mansard or whatever whatever that is called. So now that we have that in, we can kind of see where our octagon is going to go now. So we're going to go ahead and make the flat portion of our roof. This can really go anywhere that you want. Do we want it to go? I guess it just depends where you want them. You usually see these kind of roofs when you're working with Victorian style. And I don't think Mediterranean has it. The Gothic era used them. I can't think off the top of my head right now what all. There's a lot of them that use it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use just the hipped roof. We're going to go from corner. You're going to take it back until it goes into the wall. That way you have that nice corner. Do you see how it, from corner to corner, that is what we want. You can do these in pieces, or you can do it in one big one, and you're going to take it until that corner reaches the corner over here. Okay, we'll do a little bit of something different right here to cover up that. That is not a problem. Right now we're working on this roof only. Now you're going to do the same thing to this side. You can either start on this corner or this corner. It doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and do this corner. You're going to drag it. You're going to go back. You got corners meeting corners. Then you're going to come over here and you can do the same thing. And then you're going to do it again one more time. Now that one's covered by the roof. That is okay. We're just going to start from this corner instead. And you can see on the roof itself where it meets up. There we go. And now what we need to do before we do anything with this roof, now we have to bring this down. That is way too tall for a mansard or whatever you want to call it. Whatever they're called, I don't know. So we're just going to go ahead and put some roof on it. We're going to lower this, and if you don't know how to lower your walls or flooring or anything like that, you're going to bring up the cheat menu with Control, Shift, and C. You're going to type in constrain floor elevation, that is all one word, to false. This will allow us to shrink this down. So we're going to take this, I don't need 2 stairs worth. We're going to shrink it down. Let's see, I've never actually made one of these in the game. None of my houses have one, so probably wasn't a good place to put the very first set of stairs, huh? Try to get them to go. There we go. There we go. Let's see. We'll take it down by half. 2 steps worth is half. And then we're going to flatten it out. Now that looks a little bit more right on height. So about 2. You can make them higher by depending on, you know, how many steps you take it down. I took it down 8. So now what you're going to do is you're going to bring all your pieces all the way up until it slightly covers. Just goes over that. And you're going to go and bring that up. Meet that with the other one. Looks like it looks pretty good. You're going to bring this one up. And then we're going to come over here. If you can do these all in one piece each, it saves time on raising and lowering. Only have to do it 4 times. There you go. By doing it this way, you won't have the peak of the roof. If you try using the hipped roof all the way down, you're going to have a peak in the center, and you don't want that. So let's just go ahead so we can see the difference in color. We will just recolor that to that. And basically, when you do one of these roofs, then you need to make sure that you put a decorative railing on it then as well. So let's go into fences. And one that you're going to find often is not going to be one that's really tall. In fact, use this fairy tale fence. It will work perfect. And then let's just make it black. That's fine. And then you're going to take this all the way across and outline it. And there is your mansard or mansard or whatever you want to call it type of roof. Here, let's just kind of see what it looks like. We're just going to stick something small. Actually, let's grab this one. And when doing that, you're going to want to go all the way across this entire 4 pieces. Don't end early. Take it all the way across. Let's shrink it down a little bit. That might be shrunk down too much. I don't know about that. Let's just go ahead and take it back a little farther because it wasn't meeting was the problem. But you want to make sure it goes just enough below that you're not going to see it. Yeah, that'll probably be good. That'll work. And then we're going to do the same thing over here for this piece here. And then, like I said, remember, go from corner to corner, otherwise your roof will look a little offset. There we go. I'm not sure if I like it quite as much on the side as I did before. What would look if we did use this one? And then just lower it instead. So we're going to take this, see how it has that peak? That's why I said don't use it on the other one. But we're going to lower it. We'll just see what it looks like. You might like that better. Or we may not, because it's going through right there and that looks like crap. Let's use this one instead because it stops. You want to go right there? No, because see, that doesn't line up good either. See, when I'm doing roofs, a lot of times, if you ever notice, I will put on multiple different kinds of roofs before I'm actually satisfied. And even then, I may not be satisfied, so sometimes I just kind of say heck with it and give up. Yeah, I don't like that. Really don't look too bad. I mean, oh, I guess it is a little bit. That looks stupid. Gosh, I don't know. This roof is being a pain. What we could have done is brought it over and continued the mansard roof this way. What I mean by that is making it here. And then did the same thing that I showed you here. You would do the exact same steps wherever it is that you put it. Down here, because we are running past 30 minutes, and I apologize for that. We'll make it real quick. Here, you're going to want to use this roof. He didn't turn out very good, did he? We're going to do what we did over here. And we're going to create a nice corner. So you're going to take it back. Yeah, that ain't going to work either. All my roofs are going to be pains in the behinds. Sorry about that. We'll just go ahead and let's try this one. If I can get it to, oh my gosh, intersect. There's nothing there to intersect. Stop being a major pain. We'll just do that. That works too. It's okay that it hangs over a little bit because we got this portion that bumps out right there. So that's actually fine. That works good. Raise it up a little bit though, so it looks like it meets this roof correctly. So yeah, I probably would go and take the time and then extend this mansard piece just a little bit over to that over this black piece here. That's what I would end up doing, but we are running out of time, and that is going to be my tutorial on these types of roofs, and I hope this helps. We did a covered porch, mansard roof, and then the octagonal roof. And I hope this helps you out a little bit on creating homes with the accurate roof types and can help you make them more architecturally correct. So thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, if there's something that maybe I missed, or you need a little bit more help on, just go ahead. Please feel free to ask me in the comments below, and I will answer them, and I will do my best to try to help you out. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.